Are your agents stealing from you? Chances are they're not. But there's a common thing with models when they look at their rate sheet or breakdowns when they're thinking that, like, hey, I think my agent might be double dipping. So to understand why you might be thinking that, let's talk about the two main commissions that get paid out from every booking that you get. First one, it's called your talent commission. This is the fee that you pay your agents for their work of booking you on a job. They went through the process of submitting you, of negotiating your contract and your rate, organizing all the details to get you set so that you could just show up and work. That's what 20% industry standard in America gets you for talent commission. The other rate that you have to take into account is called the agency fee. Now, this is actually money that's not paid by you. It's actually paid by the client that books you. Now, they're paying your agency for the services of having models to provide that client with talent. So your agency, really what they are is they're a middle person. They're a middle person between clients who need models and models and talent who need clients. So that's why agencies actually take a fee from both sides. Now, if you're a working model, you probably have seen plus 20% on a breakdown or on a bill or on a contract somewhere. Oftentimes, models will confuse that with being their talent commission that they owe their agency. But actually, that plus 20% signifies the agency fee that the client owes the agent. So it looks like this. If client A books you model B for a rate of $1,000 for the day, that breakdown can often look like $1,000 plus 20%. That means that that bill is actually going to look like $1,200. 20% of $1,000 is $200, right? So you're thinking, oh, great, plus 20%. I owe 20% every time I book a job, so that must be the 20% that they get. Again, that's the agency fee. So after you've completed that job and you have client A paying for the services of talent B, they pay the agency $1,200. Now, you're going to subtract 20% of $1,000, the $200, and that's what goes to the agency. Now, what's left is your negotiated day rate that you agreed to, right? That's $1,000. Now, from that $1,000, your agency is going to subtract 20% for their talent commission. So now your net payout is $800. So the confusion again happens with the difference between the agency fee and the talent commission. They're two different things, money coming from actually two different sides. What you want to be on the lookout for is what was your negotiated rate. From there, you could do the math, right? If it was $2,000, the agency fee of 20% is going to be $400, but you know that you're owed $2,000. So you need to subtract your talent commission from that. So basically, if you just look at it like three parties, client A, talent B, and agency C, you have money exchanging hands from client to agency and agency to talent. The agency is going to collect their agency fee from the client. They're also going to subtract your talent commission, and then you are paid out the net minus 20%, which is 80% of your negotiated rate. I always recommend that you have some sort of accounting somewhere, whether it's a notes tab on your phone, an Excel spreadsheet if you're getting real nerdy. But ultimately, you are in charge of your own money. And if you want to ensure that you are getting every dollar that's owed to you, you have to be your own accountant. You have to be able to count the money where it changes hands and make sure you have what goes to you. After you book a job, I would recommend that you put the date that that job shoots, you put the client's name, you put the agent that booked you, you put your negotiated rate, you put your talent commission. Usually it's 20%, sometimes it's 10% if it's like a moving picture, like a commercial. And then you put the agency fee in there, especially if it's notated on the breakdown. So that way you can always do the math and know exactly how much money is going to come to you. Going a little bit deeper for a second is the difference when a client books you as a 1099 contractor or if they book you as an employee with a W-2. because then you're going to have to factor in taxes. When you're hired as a W-2 employee and you're paid out through payroll, they're going to subtract taxes and do the whole thing like that. Now, I would highly advise that you talk to a tax accountant or a financial advisor for how to deal with that and how you should manage. But you should be able to have a good sense of what money is coming to you for every job. Your agency is a resource for you, but sometimes things can get real tricky when you're talking about money. So if you have an idea of what money is owed to you and what money you ultimately got, you can actually have an intelligent conversation with your agency about what's happening. Don't go in there guns blazing and be like, you guys owe me money. Like, give me my money. Like, how come you guys are stealing from me? When in reality, you just didn't understand the full scope of the situation. So be your own accountant. Understand the money that comes to you. And at the end of the day, if you still have questions, bring your spreadsheet, bring your numbers to your agency and be like, hey, listen, like, this is what I have mathed out. Can you explain to me why my numbers and your numbers don't add up? They are your team. They're not meant to brush you off. So make sure that you're going in there informed, you're talking with them, and they're being receptive. You want an agency that's receptive to your needs, your questions, your concerns, because at the end of the day, this is your livelihood. I hope this explains the difference between agency fee and talent commission and sometimes that confusing factor. I know personally as agents, they just are often repeating themselves because this question comes up all the time. So save this video, share this video. Hopefully it helps. And if you have any more questions, leave me a comment. I'll answer it. I'll dive into another video if necessary. But follow us on Instagram at bookit.yt. I explain more in there. I make added graphics about talent commissions and agency fees that you can save. But we're here, we're Book It, and we hope that you find these videos useful. So subscribe if you're not already, and see you next time.